Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's device management interface call. Thanks for joining. So it's quite a while we didn't have one, but there was no major update to be discussed, so I think it was fine. Today, I just want to tackle a few topics and then discuss the 2.6 timeframe and what needs to be included in the release. So the first topic was a few logging API changes that you, Amit, brought in. Can you give us a little bit of background, just a few sentences about what you did?
Yes, Andrea. So those changes, basically, I would consider them as bugs. So they were found by Holger as he, I guess, started implementing those on his VM. So I think it was just not in sync with the set request. The set request takes in only one device ID, but the response had the option of returning multiple device IDs. So we wanted to fix that and just update the documentation. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Do we need an update on the BBSIM implementation? Do you recall if we have to do that?
I don't think we implemented the logging APIs on the BBSIM implementation. So I think that should be okay. But because we talked about BBSIM, one update is that we would be working on one story to have the BBSIM emit some of the device management metrics. So things like fan speed, CPU usage, right? And I think a couple of more. That is something that we will work in the coming weeks. And I think it should be in 2.6.
Okay, sounds good. That's totally fine by me. Is there a Jira story for this that you remember?
Not yet. I will create one.
Okay.
Amit, am I right that there's currently no stop managing device in BBSIM?
So BBSIM, because it supports a reflection, right? So all the APIs inherently are implemented that way. But yeah, it does not have any logic behind it.
Okay. I thought it's not return. I think it's okay. Perhaps I have to check with the one who wrote the test. But when he was testing with the BBSIM, I thought that you couldn't call a stop managing device and would get an error back or something. I'm not totally sure.
Okay, if that is the case, then we will try and do that as well, because it should be something simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if it helps in getting some of the tests run fine, right?
I will clarify this, and if I have something, I will get back to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Or to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Holger, and thanks, Amit. If you do find out that it's not there, just please do open a Jira story for it. And I guess, as Amit said, it should be a pretty straightforward implementation. It's just just remove it from the internal list of BBSIM managed devices in the device manager. Not even take it out of BBSIM, just take it out from the device manager. So I think it should be pretty straightforward. Regarding the metrics, Amit, is that something you're gonna fake on BBSIM, or you're gonna try and get some of the? I guess the fan speed will never be something that BBSIM gives you, but like the CPU usage, you could get the CPU usage of the container. Is that something worth doing, or maybe not, and just fake the results?
Right now, my thought is that we will fake all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but it may not be worth the effort, because even if you take real values, I don't know what good it's going to do, right?
Yeah.
I think faking is great.
Yeah, at least for the first pass, right? Yeah, at least for the first pass, we fake it, and later on, if we see that we need more real values because of whatever reason, we can always enhance it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good to me. And okay, just if there is a Jira story, just maybe send it to me. I can add it to to here, or you can add it to it's up to you really. I don't particularly care.
Okay.
The other thing is, and so we would like this to be in 2.6 in a 2.6 release.
Yeah, right. That's correct.
Okay. And also the stop managing device if it's not present.
Okay, good.
Hello.
I just told them.
And Holger, sorry, would you like also the stop managing device to be there?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, our intention is to have test cases eventually, and these test cases should work with our device manager, but they should also work with a BBSIM, and stop managing device is something which should be there, I guess. Otherwise, it's not working with ours. So we need it definitely for running the tests, and therefore I would like to have it inside of the test case.
Okay.
And as you said, I mean, it should be really simple. I mean, actually, perhaps the BBSIM is not even doing anything for stop managing device because it's always just one device, right?
Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah,
it's just added to the list.
I don't know. Is there a list? I mean, it's just yeah. Okay. I mean, is get managed? Is this get managed devices supported?
That is a good question. I wouldn't recall. I think it is. Amit, do you know if you implemented? Do you remember if you implemented get managed devices?
No, the get managed device is not there on BBSIM as well. I think it got added after after I did the change in BBSIM, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps it would. Well, yeah, I mean, perhaps I could look it up in the device in the BBSIM myself, but perhaps we could have a list of what should be, so that we know which kind of test cases we can write for those.
Yeah, I think if you take a step at the stop managing device, Amit, might as well put in the get managed devices. It's all on the same ballpark, and what you really want is a value that if you do start managing device, you just set the UUID of the device in that value, and if you do get and the value is not null, you just return the UUID. Otherwise, you turn nothing, and you do stop, you just set the value to null. That's like 3 lines of code.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
Okay. So topic. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Amit, do you know by heart what is currently implemented in BBSIM? So it will be some metrics, but I guess there are no events also, right? So you cannot configure events, you cannot configure metrics.
No, you are asking what is already in there or what is going to be in there?
I guess both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I remember correctly, I did the start managing device, right? So, and the get inventory, because these were the two that we are using right now, right? From northbound systems as well in our use cases. So these two got implemented in the first priority, and I think some software management APIs also, I think it returns some simulated data. And in the next thing, we want to put in some metrics management and make the BBSIM output some metrics. So it would be 3 or 4 metrics that are planned for the MVP. For the events,
outputting means to Kafka also,
yeah,
or
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For the events, I think that is what we wanted to do, but we might not have the bandwidth right now to do it. So it will get done, but I don't know if it will be in the 2.6 timeframe for the events. Metrics, definitely, yes.
Thanks.
Okay. Holger, while we're on the topic of the tests, can you give us an update on how things are going over there with the test suite? I know it's progressing, and you guys do have a set of initial tests.
Yeah, it's progressing, but it's it's still. I think we think that we might have something at the end of November, which we can provide. So we have to find out. I mean, we did the tests currently only for our device manager, which obviously supports a lot of. I mean, it supports nearly all the APIs right now, and what we will have is that if you get metrics or inventory, this looks different for BBSIM than for the Atran device manager. So we have to change this in the test cases so that you can. I mean, my idea would be to have the ability to use one test case which can be run against a BBSIM and against a device manager. So this means there has to be some, Atran device manager. So there has to be some logic inside the test case which allows you to do that. And this is not what we currently have in our test cases. Ours are fully focused on our device manager, which doesn't make sense right now for you. So we have to change the test cases in a way that they can work with both, or at least with the BBSIM at first, which is the target, obviously.
I was discussing with Thorsten, and one of the possible solutions to this issue would be to basically parameterize the expected result. So effectively, you could have a YAML file with, or whatever file really, where you have the expected results of a given test. And that would, you basically run the robot suite with that expected set of results. And whenever a result is got from the actual device manager, you could compare it to the value of, for a given key that is expected out of the file. So that file would be different from you guys for the Atran device manager and for us for the BBSIM based one. But I think that is the cleanest way to do it.
Yeah, I think the only problem is that if you look, for example, to the complete inventory, the whole structure might look totally different for the BBSIM than for ours or for EdgeCore or whatever. So it's a little bit complicated to specify this inside the YAML file, I guess, because it will be a tree of elements which are there. And so
agreed. What you could do is possibly again, maybe output it in the JSON, because we do have the option through the gRPC thing to output it in JSON and just do a check of the JSON against another JSON. I mean, there are ways to work around this. I don't think it's that difficult. I mean, it certainly presents its challenges, but in the end, it's just a comparison of values.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the alternative is like that you have I don't know, you specify in the YAML file which type of device manager or device you have, and then somehow a robot keyword simply does the right thing. So the robot keyword which checks the inventory knows that, okay, this is BBSIM, so I expect that, or it is something different, and we'll call a different robot keyword or whatever. So I mean, there are, I guess, several possibilities to do it. I'm not actually sure what Torsten did now. So
okay. Andreas, sorry, think, but I have a very basic question out here. Why do we need to test the DMI interface of BBSIM? Because BBSIM itself is a simulator, right?
No. The reason is that I want this set of tests to set up a job in Jenkins that enables me to run the tests, and just BBSIM is just our way to verify that the whole set of test suite works. And then as soon as the Adtran device manager comes in with the device for certification, we're just gonna swap it. I don't intend to keep the BBSIM based test forever.
Okay,
it's just a way for me to verify the tests, set up the job, create the Jenkins stuff, the results, and all of that. And also I have something that people can look at and say, okay, I need to develop another test. I can do it on BBSIM this way. And then whenever device managers comes in, we just use them.
Okay, I get that. But then what Holger is pointing out, right? That is also something that needs to be thought about, because although the interface is generic, but because the structure is open, right? So different devices could report their inventory. And I think the point of concern here is the inventory in different structures. So the test or the implementation that we need to have there has to be very generic.
Well, different structures in the sense.
For example, so for example, right? Say Adtran, just as an example, I don't know how they're reporting it, but say Adtran has a chassis. Inside that they have a board. Inside that they have a cage, and inside that they have a SFP. For H-Core, it might be that they have a chassis, and inside that directly they have a cage and a SFP. So the board in between might be missing. So the tree could be completely different.
I see what you mean, and this is precisely what we were discussing, I think, with Holger, as you pointed out. And here, what I would do is have a way of knowing which output to expect. Plain and simple. If it's I don't know, we can say component structure as an object in the YAML file and have a reference to another text file or a JSON, or as Holger was saying, know that it's an edge core and that robot expects that structure there. It's just a way of parameterizing it. We just need a parameter one way or another to let robot understand what to check. But I think Torsten has, I have chatted with him, I think he has a pretty good understanding of this set of requirements. And we discussed a little how to do it, and the file and the parameter is the way forward for him too. And I think we can get there. And as soon as we will have something tangible, it will come to this call and we will discuss exactly what's the best way to progress, and maybe we can make some tweaks and all of that. But I don't think it's an impossible task.
No, it shouldn't.
No, it's definitely not impossible. What I was also trying to say is it's not trivial.
No, I would agree, yes.
By the way, is there a way to specify that some tests are only run for some devices in your test suite? Or can you define different test suites for different devices? Or sorry, I don't know anything about how you run your tests, so this might be a stupid question.
It can be done. Yeah. We have a notion of what we have in the Volta Pawn side. We have this notion of workflows, and we run different tests for the DT and the AT&T workflows. This is all parameterizable. Again, it can be done via a parameter at the startup that says Adtran, that says BBSIM, that says EdgeCore, that says whatever. And based on that, we can run more or less tests based on keywords that the test has. So it's robot keywords that we can include or exclude. And based on that, we achieve the result of testing whatever is needed.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, perfect. So I guess the end of November sounds good to me, at least from my personal perspective. It's, I think, a very good step. And that gives us some time because I told, as I said before to you, the release is, the target date for the release is end of the 21st of December, around that time frame before Christmas. Code freeze is going to be about the 4th of December, but the test can come even during code freeze because worst case, they spot a bug and a bug is allowed after code freeze. So I think we're in pretty good shape. If when Torsten probably comes back from his vacation, we can discuss contribution of that and finalize the upstreaming of the test. I think we are in pretty good shape. Would you guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And I think we also already discussed what are the missing elements for 2.6. So the metrics implementation that Amit was talking about, the start, stop, get, managed devices, and the tests. Would you guys have anything else that you would like to do? Because I cannot really think of anything else that would be missing. And I think we can maybe do like things if they come up on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Anything else that you guys wanted to discuss? Am I missing anything from the agenda? No? Okay, then if not, thanks for joining. I guess we'll see each other in 2 weeks and let's continue discussing on Slack and on the email thread. Torsten, please do, Holger, please do give us an update on the stop, get, manage devices whenever you do some investigation. And if it's needed, just create a Jira ticket and put it out. And I think Amit can work on it, or I can pick it up. It should be no big deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll do.
Okay, thanks a lot. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a nice weekend. Bye.
You too. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.